What's up? Welcome to Heart of the Matter podcast, where we have very vulnerable and honest conversations about life and relationships. And like I said, don't think you're going to come out here with your clothes on. You have to get buck naked. Because here's the deal. You're not going to necessarily be praised for your successes. We appreciate those. But out here, it's about your vulnerability, about your failures. I'm your boy, Christopher Doc Reed, relationship and life coach, with my guy, P. Ookie. What's up, bro?
Yo, what's good?
That's a lot of energy in yo, man.
It
okay,
is,
so
man.
you let me know you're here. So, hey, check out.
Yeah.
Poop.
Yes, sir.
Today,
man.
you know, you and I have been waiting. We've been talking for a
been
long
for a while.
time about this one. Special guest. Okay, let me set it up. Okay, in the 90s, the late, great Gerald Levert introduced the world to this dynamic duo, Men at Large. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about, Use Me, So Alone. Let's talk about it. And the industry, I don't even know if they was ready for what they was about to experience, okay? Yeah. And so we got one half of that duo here with us today, and he will tell you quick, I'm the best singer in this. Make no bones about it. Dave Tolliver.
Dave, baby.
Yeah.
Dave, baby. Yes.
What up,
Dave Tolliver. Yes.
What's up, man?
I'm in the building, man. I'm ready to get it.
Are you ready?
It's been like 40 years coming. It's 40 years in the
Yeah,
making.
it's been a long time, and I'm about to tell this story real quick, so check out. Okay, so Dave and I, back in the day, you know what I'm saying, I was in Cleveland, my cousin Jeff Charles.
He the reason we got discovered.
Oh, wow. We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to get into that. So I used to go to Cleveland. My cousin, he was a big-time DJ at the radio station ZAK there. So we hang out in the summers. I don't know. It was about 14, something like that. Yeah. And so... So now, no. Fast forward, Pook, right? And so you tell me, because Pook, you play backup for different artists every summer, And so you said Men at Large is coming. I said, Men at Large, bruh. You already, it's my guy, man. You like, Pook was like, word, really? And I'm like, yeah. He said, okay. So he gets Dave on the phone, okay? And I'm like, I got all this energy because I'm talking to him like I just saw him last week, okay? And it's been like, 40 years? It's something, okay. Yeah. Okay, but it's okay because he knows me,
you know what I mean? 40 years.
And I'm like, so we on the three-way phone call, and I'm like, Dave, what's up, my man? What's up? And he says, first of all, what you ain't gonna do is you not gonna be calling da 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 da. And the more he talked, I got shorter and shorter and shorter. Poop, go ahead, tell him. What did he do?
I don't even remember that.
So I said, hey Dave, I got my guy on the phone, man. You probably remember him, whatever, giving the introduction. He's like, who's that? So Reed like, yo, Dave, remember Hey, man, don't act like you don't. Come on, man. You doing the whole rundown. Hey, I used to be up there. Who? Dave hitting it with the who. Now I'm on the phone like.
So embarrassed.
Oh, man. Like, this is, the awkwardness is like.
Man.
Say it didn't happen.
It did. and I had to apologize. I'm just looking at how good I look on the screen. I had to apologize for that because, man, I don't know what's wrong with me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll meet somebody the night before and forget them. But like,
how old are you now?
I'll be 54 in July.
Oh no, it's a thing. I'm about to be 53 next week, and I get
but
it.
I shouldn't have forgot you because we've spent countless times together. But what's crazy is my guy Joe Stills that works there. He always say, "Hey man," he be like, "Hey fat man, you remember such and such and?" I'll be like, "Nah, B." And these people we've spent countless days, countless hours, countless weeks over the years when my time was prevalent with Men at Large, my time was prevalent with, with the radio station, because I never stopped working at the radio station when Men at Large was tipping the charts.
Yeah.
I never stopped.
Wow.
I would go on tour and come home.
Still do Saturday nights?
Man, no, I did every night. I did, listen, I was money hungry. And if I wanted to mess around, I just had girls come to the station, and in between records, we would do it there, or we would go to. I would have her play along.
Playing the 12-inch.
She got it. I would put on that Babyface record and let it just play all the way. Because back then you could do what you wanted to. Or put on Moments in Art of Noise, Moments in Love, which was the long record. Go do your due diligence and then come back. But man, I asked one of my guys who passed away, my man Sheldon Brown, and we were talking as we started getting older. It was probably late 30s, early 40s. Because he died like about 6 months after my sister did in 2019. He died in like 20. And he was like, all the trauma and the things that you've been through probably have blocked out a lot of things. And it's horrible.
Hold on.
I'll tell you another experience.
No, you getting into the thing, man. I wanted to.
Let me just tell you about this girl. I felt bad. Like I saw this girl one time. I was in Columbus, and I had just got finished, rocking the show, and I came to the club. And she was like, hey, baby, how you? I was like, what's up? I thought she was my boy's niece friend. And I was like, what's good? You look good. You done lost all this weight, this, that, and the third. Long story short, I got her number. We started talking on the phone. I thought she was her same name, but my dude's niece's friend name was Kish. Her name was Keisha. The girl Kish is a light-skinned, taller, thick. That's why I thought but Keisha was dark and thin, and I was like, damn, you lost a lot of weight. She was like, yeah, I did. She said, you look good too. I was fat as hell still, though. and long story short, she started talking. She started talking all this stuff, and I was like, what are you talking about? She said, what? I said, because I had once upon a time after Radio 1 came and took everybody from ZAK, I got a job in the Virgin Islands doing radio. So I was coming back and forth doing shows and going back doing radio there. And she was like, when you was down there, you would call me and you would be singing to my son and you asked me to come move down there. I don't remember none of that.
That's scary.
None of it.
I mean, really,
no,
like,
scary, bro.
I don't know if I had it to that degree, but I've had moments like that when, like, my dude, Chris McNeil, he'd be like, hey, man, remember so-and-so? Yeah. He'd be like, you remember so-and-so? No. Like, Reed, I'm like,
that's the same thing me and Jason go through. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, your memory is impeccable. It's like when you got whole sections of your life that you don't remember. Okay, so, all right, we gonna get to that. We're gonna get to the trauma, all of that. So what we do here, man, is we really get into the nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
it knows.
Yeah, everybody knows. Yeah, men at large, they know you, the celebrity and the outgoing personality. But we want to get to know the man, the husband, the father, all that good stuff. Man. Yeah, I know. Yeah, let's get comfortable because we here, man.
I'm transparent.
Okay, so one of the things we talk about is how it all started out, and so I just asked everybody when it came to relationships in your household. Like, what did your parents teach you about relationships?
Nothing. So in my household, as a kid, my father was abusive. He used to beat my mom like crazy, and then he would whoop on me for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got that. And so for that reason, I think I either, in certain instances, I get scared of violence, or I don't like violence, or I've been passive about a lot of things, different stuff where I should have knocked the cat out because and it probably that's something I never really addressed. But, as the years went by, I forgave him. And so we tight now. Mm-hmm. And because I had to, because otherwise it would have killed me before it killed him. You dig? Mm. So,
but what led to that though? Like to get to the point of forgiving him. Yeah,
because I tried to kill him 3 times. Wow. Yeah, I had a gun to his head. I beat him through a window. I had him off the ground, choking him. And I don't like violence, but every time he came around, it pushed me to that limit. It pushed, man.
When you say it pushed you, is it that he pushed your buttons? He did something that triggered you?
Him. He was a trick because he was a dope head. You know what I mean? And he was selfish. And everybody be like, hide the liquor when you come around. But everybody, I'd be like, man, go on, give him a drink. So in a sense, I was an enabler. So then once he started drinking and getting drunk, then everything started turning in different ways. He started yelling and talking trash to somebody. Or one time he was talking trash to my sister, and he went in there and he swung on her. And I Then we was at my aunt, which was his younger sister's repast one time, and man, you ever seen that scene in Minister Society where he asked him when Cain got shot and his light started flashing before him?
Yeah.
So his brother had caused a bunch of trauma, and they still want to try to have governing dominion over the kids. Now these kids is 30 and y'all 60, and you think you can push them cats around. My one cousin knocked out his brother because his brother came there talking trash, this, that, and the third, calling him a B and a punk and all that. And my cousin knocked him out and he was on the ground, and my uncle's kids started stomping him.
He laughing like
his own kids started stomping because my family is, that part of my family is effed up.
So did you, because you are known as a jokester.
Mm-hmm.
You known that you gonna say something. You've always been this way.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's just a natural part of your personality, or that became a coping mechanism to offset all the craziness and
Since
tension?
we being vulnerable and true, I tell cats, man, I've been through so much in my life. It's the only way I keep from crying is to fuck around and laugh and joke all the time. I have to. I have to, because everybody is not. I'm naturally up.
Yeah.
I'm higher off life, man, period. I'm grateful for life. I've seen so many people go too soon. Why did it have to go this way if you were this God-fearing or that or whatever? Why? And I just try to stay positive and believe that there's a better outcome. And I stay up, man. I stay up. But yeah, man, if I ain't laugh and make no jokes or have fun or try to seek out the people around me that, like being with Carl, that brought me here today. Man, when I get with him, man, that's all we do is clown. He is the type, if you going through something, he the type of person that you need to be around. And like right now, I'm in one of them moments. Like, I'm glad I came on. I'm glad I had this trip, because I just lost my niece like about a month and a half, 2 months ago in the car.
Sorry to hear that.
You know what I mean? So it's like, then right after that, I had to go do a gig that I didn't want to do with the Levert experience. And man, it's just been that my whole life has been one after another, especially over the last 10, 12 years. It's been, and it ain't been like, oh man, yeah, my guy. No, it's been like, oh my God, like a brother or my sister or my niece or, my
hit hard
cousin, last year killed himself. It's just all kinds of stuff that is like right in my front pocket. Like, come on, Lord, give me a break. But you got to be careful what you ask for, because sometimes a break might mean you next. I mean, come on, man. I'm all jokes and fun, but I'm a real nigga too. I don't play around with it. Like, life has taught me not to. Like I heard Carl say earlier, every shut eye ain't sleep. I'm watching. Even when I'm asleep, I'm watching. I'm thinking. I'm studying. I'm learning. I have to, because it keeps me going. It keeps me moving. If I don't have anything to do, then it makes me dive into the negative things. Although you do have to face them.
Yeah.
You have to face them. You have to face them. You have to fight them head on, man. Because if you don't, it'll consume you, and you'll just be laying there.
So
in Debo's pigeon coop.
Yeah.
See, there's the
calling
joke
on my
deflect.
mama. Yeah. So, all right. So, what you said about having to literally fight your own dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we think about dads. There's a certain amount of obviously inherent respect for the position of a father, right? So for something to bring you to that point, and you don't even like confrontation. So that you in essence in some way snapped, and it just, you went there. So that's a lot of trauma. Now what about your moms? Like, did she teach you anything or try to guide you about relationships?
I miss her so much, man.
Because I know even the song So Alone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would always say
Gerald wrote that for me to sing to her, man. That I miss her so much. I feel like I really didn't even get a chance to know her. Crazy thing. We signed our contracts with Gerald through their company. 2 months later, she was gone. My life is a movie, but my grandmother always told me, baby, no matter how bad you think you are, there's somebody a million times worse than you.
Exactly.
Hope for the best, expect the worst. I used to think that was stupid.
Yeah.
But man, that's the formula to coping in life, is hope for the best, but expect the worst, because anything can happen at any given moment.
Yeah.
Man.
How so okay. And I'm sure, because even back then, but I think by the time we met, I don't know if your mom had passed then.
No, she was still alive.
Okay. And so I'm sure, because I know you and Jason, was trying to make it. And I even remember talks then, because you might not even remember that. She was like, dude, you need to move down here. And I was literally considering relocating to Cleveland. Cause y'all would do the little thing on the little Casio.
Yeah.
We'll see each other again
Yeah.
someday.
Yeah.
Another time, another place, right?
Oh my God, your memory is crazy, B. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And so I was like really contemplating moving
That damn Casio keyboard.
to Cleveland. And so, in other words, I know she was looking forward to you and you making it and you talking about making it. And so then you sign and then that happened. So what do you do with that trauma? Like, I mean, Brent, don't want nobody talking about therapy back then,
No, they weren't. But you know what? I didn't even start addressing that till like 2018. You remember Cloyd, the light-skinned dude you was hanging with all the time? Yeah, you do. If you saw his picture, he passed away in August of 18. And that knocked me off my feet. And then right after that, I had did a play. And this lady that was on the carpet, she was also a therapist. And I was just telling her about certain stuff. And she was like, I do a podcast or whatever, a show about da da da. And I was like, man, I think I need a therapist. She was like, well, I do da 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 da.
Yeah.
And I went in her office. And this was was it 18? So my mom died in 90. So that's 28 years she had been dead. And she said I never had grieved. Man,
Didn't sound like it.
Nah, she had did this exercise one day. She said, when you come back, I want you to think of 3 questions that you would ask your mom as if she was still here.
I know that would rap.
Man. She said, and asked them from the vantage point of 3 different age groups. And I think she said 7, something else. Somehow I remember. Man.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah, it's about to fuck me up now. I'm just saying, like, when I asked her the questions, from what I remembered about my mother, I was like, how in the hell did you answer them questions like that? Like, it was like my mother was sitting right there talking to me. It was like so I was like, how do you do that? Because she wasn't really like taking notes and the thing. She would just jot down a couple things and sit there. How do you remember all of your patients' case studies like that? Man, I cried, and I was so drained. I had to take a nap in the car before I drove because I was so tired. Because I'm the person that everybody comes to all the time.
You the strong one.
Man, my son, everybody like for Father's Day, for my birthday, for Christmas, the cars say to the strongest person I've ever known in my life. I'm like, I'm strong because I don't have a choice. I'm the oldest grandchild on each side.
You do. So when I'm working with my clients,
I got you.
the strong
the
ones,
mic.
they say that. Like, they say, where did the strong go? And it's almost like we're not allowed to have a moment of weakness. And it's almost like, it's not like people don't want you to have that moment. They think you don't need it.
That's it. They think we don't need it. And you know what's crazy? I'm about to put it out. Like, even my wife don't get it, man. Yeah, even my wife don't get it. Because, see, y'all about to have me fucked up on this interview. Even that was your plan. I know it was. Have you heard me talking to Carmen?
What do we do, Poop? We just do what we do.
Man.
And I love her to death, but even she don't get it. When you're the daughter of a scorned woman, and all they give you is the shit. They don't give you the properties or the ideals that there are men out there, because her mom never found another relationship after that was nurturing for her or for her kids. So when this is her mom, and I don't give a fuck if she see it or who see it. It's just, she was like, this is her mom's thing. Her mom's dad, my wife's dad left her mom for her mom's best friend when she was 2 years old. Nigga.
Crazy.
And their anniversary was just the other day. For the fact I know that she's never gotten over it is because she called my wife or text her, because she lives with us, and said, today would have been me and your father's blah, 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 blah. you've never gotten over that. You've never dealt with that. So when you say, I did this, I did that myself. I ain't never need no man for this or that. I do this, that. I don't have no sympathy, anything for nobody else. And she been saying this since we've been married. But even though your daughter has a good man, when you're feeding her, you've been feeding her this since she was a little girl.
Yeah.
And you've been feeding her this that the man is supposed to do this, supposed to be that. He ain't shit, this, that, and the third. He got, if he can't do that, he ain't that. You've never taught her how to nurture a man. You never taught her how to be there for me. I don't want nobody to be like, oh, I want somebody to be like, keep going, baby. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Like I give you an example, man. 2 days ago, man, I fucking broke down, man. 'Cause I was thinking about my niece, because it's like I've had this thing now with all the people that have been dying. I have to have the pictures. I even did the eulogy at my niece. I did the eulogy for my sister. I went to the cremation for my sister. I pushed the button to start it because I felt like I was handing them over to God. I felt like nobody else could take care of them and do it but me. My niece, she fell asleep on the way to work and crashed in front of her job at the nigga. Man, we thought she had a heart attack, but when we found out, when we got the autopsy back, she fell asleep in the driveway, or instead of making a right, her car just went off the road. So I told the funeral home, send me her pictures. He said, I said, no, I want them now. He said, man, we got to do whatever to it. And so I guess they had to clean her up because she didn't have any marks on her face or anything like that. It was just like she just didn't put on no makeup or do her hair. And so she just looked normal. So I just figured, well, damn, she had a heart attack. Nah, she fell asleep. And so when I look in my Ralph's daughter, Quana, Ralph Poole. You remember Ralph Poole?
Yeah.
His daughter Quana does makeup for all the bodies and she's done my grandmother, both my grandmothers, my aunt who was like my second mom. She did my sister, and she just did my niece. And I said, send me the pictures. So I just feel like it's a dream sequence. So it's like I'm going through my phone. I'm looking for, like, this promoter wanted this video of us from me doing Baby I'm Ready on the Tom Joyner cruise. And so I'm looking, and just all in there is just nothing but pictures of her in the box the day after. And I'm just like, and they're like duplicates, like over and over and over again. I just lost it. And so it's like I'm losing it, and she just standing there watching me.
Wifey.
Yeah. She ain't trying to hug me. She's just looking at me. And it's like, I don't blame her. But that's how you've been trained, to not have any empathy for a man, to not have any sympathy for a man, to not have any.
Does she recognize that? I mean, does she know, based off what you're saying and how she was raised, what her mom repeated over and over? Does she have any idea how it has impacted her?
I think when you're, and this is something I learned from my nieces after my sister passed, is that when you're in certain situations growing up, if the person that was there was the do-all, then they did no wrong. No matter, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if they were the person that caught the bottom before it fell, or took care of everything, was the one to clean up everything, when they look at them as that, they can never do no wrong. And they were doing you no diligence at all.
Okay.
Nothing. They were, and I'm not saying she wasn't a good mom, but she didn't teach her.
Has your wife ever been to therapy?
No, man. And then, as much as I've nailed her about it, she said, well, maybe I can't do it. And I was like, okay, after all these years now. And I'm an asshole with it. I am. I'm an asshole. I say, yeah, you're not. And she'll say, well, she'll ask me, man, I have more women friends than anything, and I always have. But don't mean I'm sleeping with them or nothing like that. But it's like, I have good conversations with them. I have talks with them because they don't give me headaches. They understand. Man, I got a couple friends that just check on me daily because they know what I've been through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. It's like I tell people, like, they got this thing, they say, well, white women go to college to find a husband.
Right.
Black women go to college to learn how to live without one. So say you find a guy, black girl, you go up here to Central State, Wilberforce, Xavier, Dayton, whatever,
IO,
baby.
And you find this guy who doesn't fit the typical stereotype. He's not around with his guys sharing girls. He makes his boys respect you. He's opening doors for you.
He's a good dude.
He's doing stuff. but blah, blah, blah. He's everything. He's loving you the way you want to be loved, and he's treating you like your mama told you a man should. In the back of your mind, if we keep spreading these things to these women and these other things to men, in the back of their mind, even though they're getting everything and they're on cloud nine, they still feel like this man is a ticking time bomb, and they're not going to be able to love them the way that it should be to keep him from going astray.
So let's sit right there just for a second. So when I'm working with my clients and we get to a certain place where, you know, we've dealt with their trauma and all that kind of stuff, then I tell them, I said, now when you get into a relationship and you meet the guy who's everything that you say you want, there's still going to be a part of you that's going to think this is too good to be true.
Man, like there's
another part of you that's waiting for the other shoe to drop. Now, if you really did the work and, okay, you're in that healthy zone, then you know how to speak to that. You know how to say, well, no, I'm looking at the facts. He hasn't demonstrated that. He hasn't shown me that. But how many, and you know, guys could have their version of that, but how many really are at that place to be healthy or not? Because there's so many good men and women who have been scarred because they were with people who were not ready for them.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, but you've been married,
21
bruh,
years.
21
In
years.
July to be 21 years, bro.
So y'all
Crazy.
have found a way to make this work. And so since you the strong one, and you said something earlier about your niece's about the funeral, and you did the eulogy. You said because you didn't trust anybody else to do it, or
felt like I had to be the one that was handing them off to
felt
God.
like.
Yeah.
I wonder how much though that you feel that way in other areas. Like, I have to do it. So in other words, if you're the strong one, you know what I mean? You say everybody
Ain't nobody else gonna do it, man.
That's
Somebody
not,
said we're left behind. Somebody told me we're left behind to carry the luggage.
You said nobody else is going to do it, but if
Yeah.
you're always doing it, then there's no vacancy there for
them
it
to
to
step
get
up
done.
and do it.
Okay, God forbid you not here tomorrow. You
They're
go on.
screwed.
You go on. No, you
screwed.
know they're gonna figure life
figure it
out.
out.
They're screwed.
But you feel what's that thing in you that's scared to just let the ball drop?
That's a good question, man. It's a good podcast, and it's all being brought to you by
Yeah, just the plug, right? Right now, we'd like to take
it's all being brought to you by New Image Entertainment. Tony
Exactly.
Sanders.
Tony
Absolutely.
The new comedy house is coming to you soon.
Yes, sir.
I don't know, man, because I've never been given a chance, or I've never let myself.
Come on.
I never let myself see if the ball dropped. To let the ball drop. I always felt like, all right, I'm watching it. I'm looking at it. All right, I got it. It's cool now. You know
What's your fear about what would happen if the ball dropped? What's the worst that could happen?
Man, I don't know. I never took the time to think about it.
Sounds like you need to.
I never took the time to think about it.
So I had a question.
Damn, I look good on this camera. I'm just joking. and I'm not deflecting. I'm not deflecting. I stay in the moment, but I'm just looking at how.
No,
good I
he's
look on the camera.
vain for real. So that's a
As
real
hell
thing.
I'm vain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
straight up.
So I had a question. So through
I was wondering when you was gonna
I
ask
was-
something.
so
nigga.
through-
Was he here?
Right.
So through all the I'm listening, right? So through all the trauma that you dealt with at an early age, what inside you made you feel like seeing the abuse, seeing moms go through it? Now I want to get married. How can Dave love? How can Dave
Hey, man.
choose to give what is needed?
What's crazy is that I never knew by losing my mother at 20 that I don't want to say it turned me to a womanizer, but it turned me to a man that had to have multiple women. It was to the fact that every time something got mushy, I pushed it away. And I
You didn't want
You don't wanna get
you
too
didn't
close.
want to let somebody. Yeah, go ahead, Poop.
Go ahead.
No, you don't want to get too close. You don't want anybody to get too
And
close.
because I guess that really shook me, man. My mom was everything. She was my best friend. She was everything, dog. You know what I mean? And even though, you know, my uncle Lynn, who I called my dad, he was there. His blueprints wasn't away either. Like he would. I just could do whatever I wanted to do, and then when I got caught, I got in trouble. You don't raise kids like that either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I see that with my nieces and my little nephews, because they got the 2 boys, and I took the oldest, my nephew. He's out my house now, but he will be when he get back. But he pissed me off. But and it's the difference of being a big brother, big sister, as opposed to being a father or mother figure. You know, you have to pick a side. You want them to have fun, but then you want them to do right too. Right. But I think you probably feel like as long as you watching them and you seeing them and they ain't in jail or they ain't dead, then it's cool. Extreme. But that's not the way to do it though. Right. That's not the way to do it.
So you never wanted to feel hurt like that again, and so then that's why you kept.
I didn't. But, you know, I was always honest with women. I'd be like, well, you know, let's not put a title on this. Let's just
yeah. You was an honest player. You was an honest player.
Yeah, right. Call it that. And I would say, well,
with integrity.
You know, I'll be like, this was one thing I say, you the dealer, we play the card. That's those. Right. You the dealer, we play the cards. How you dealing? Whatever happens, happens. Along the line, I fell in love with a few, and I tried to stick with them, but it didn't. I was with this one girl for like about 11, 12 years off and on. She ended up, you know, leaving me or, you know, falling in love with somebody else or whatever. But, you know.
Why?
I don't know. I think.
I mean, watch this. So why do you think?
I had a vision, man. She's from Jersey, and she came to Cleveland. And I met her. Me and Mark Gordon used to hang out all the time from Levert. And we were out, and we met her and her girls. And eventually Mark and her was supposed to kick it, but me and her ended up being really, 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 really tight. They never matched. He was like, well, you know, and plus he had a girl. Mm-hmm. So me and her ended up being really tight. And I guess her and Jason was cool too. And she was like helping her. She was a graduate from Oberlin College in economics. She was making dope working in the bank. She was smart. Mm-hmm. And one day I went over there, me and Jason, she helped her with the homework. And then I went in the room and me and her was talking. And then next thing you know, we was together, just put it that way. And I fell for her, but, you know, that's when we started hitting the road, man. And, I always wanted to be a husband, man. I always wanted to be a father. I did, because I said I never wanted to be like my dad. I never wanted to do a woman like my sister had been down, like my mother had been down, like all my cousins got all these multiple baby dads and different stuff like that. So I anytime I did some stuff with a woman and she called me and said, I'm pregnant or this, that happened, man, I knew that the girls I messed with weren't sweet poly purebred, so I wasn't like, it ain't mine. I would just be like, so what are we going to do about it? What do you want to do? I could never be, because I didn't want to be that guy. And when I got married, I never wanted to be the man that my father was, or hell, even what my uncle was. My uncle had a baby with one of his dude's wives.
Whoa,
I'm giving you some stuff, man. I shouldn't even be giving you this, but I'm giving
it to you. It's all good,
It's
man.
Gonna be in my book anyway.
Yeah, but cameras ain't even on, really.
But yeah, I don't care. But who gonna do something? Ain't nobody gonna do that.
Yeah, we got like
it's a facts.
Yeah,
it's facts. You know what I'm saying? They can't hide it.
So what made you want to get married?
I just wanted to be different than them. I wanted to be a better man than them, and so far,
Go ahead. What does different than them look like?
Me not beating them, me not being bringing babies home and drama home, disease home from other people, you know, just doing wild stuff outside of just being the man you need to be, taking care of home, being a father, being the man of the house, showing your son how a man's supposed to be, showing your daughter how a man is supposed to treat her or whatever, different stuff like that. You know, that's what I wanted to be, because those role models weren't around me like that.
Right. So I was going to ask you, since you didn't get that from them, everything you talking about is what you didn't see.
Right.
So where did you gather that from? You just wanted to be the opposite?
Man, I just didn't want to be like them niggas, man. I didn't. I mean, you know, during those times there was examples. It was Uncle Phil. It was
TV, right? We all got it from TV.
But on my street though, on 176 off Tarkington, my boy Chip, his dad, God bless him, his Charles Vernon Sanders, he was a father. My boy Cloyd, his dad, Leon Maurice Cloyd Sr., he was a father. Mr. Leon Robert Pounds, even though he ended up sleeping with somebody I know and having a baby, he still was a father and took care of his own. And we didn't know until later. I mean, it was all these men around me, my grandfather, that was the first time I experienced death at 6. He was the one that would save me from my dad. He would come pick me up and take me to his house, and I eventually moved in with them, you know, and went to school up the street from them, you know, him. Man, just
So you made a composite out of all the different father
they
role
were
models
providers.
that you saw.
And even though everything wasn't always smooth, you know, as far as like relations with their wives and stuff, you know, they were fathers. They were home.
They were there.
They came home every day at decent hours of the time.
Yeah.
They provided for their families. They nurtured. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They raised their kids. They were there to have the influence. Like I tell these girls, like, it ain't always about the money with these men. You got to just be. Sometimes you have to just be satisfied with a man that wants to spend time with his kids, because there's a lot of cats out here that don't, won't, and haven't, and won't. So I mean.
So what was different about Wifey that made her stand out from everybody else?
I'm gonna give you the Kevin Durant and Charles Barkley. Man, you know what?
You gonna sing?
Nah, hell no. Although I did write a song for her and sing it at the wedding. So, man, she came at the right time, man. She was everything I needed. I feel like she saved my life, man.
Really?
I think I probably would be dead if I hadn't have married her, because I was doing everything wrong, man. Everybody. I was 500 something pounds. I was unhealthy. I kept tearing my legs up, which is why I'm on this cane now. After all the different surgeries and stuff I'd had, nerves and stuff is probably all messed up. Well, the nerves are messed up, but you know, I blame the surgeon. But it probably was just a process of all the years of all the weight, all the surgeries, tearing stuff up, man. And I was only dealing with women that I had to feed physically, financially, mentally, spiritually, and that's draining. That would have killed me. It would have killed me, dude. Everybody that was around me that I was messing around with or doing whatever I was doing with, they needed me. They needed everything from me.
They was just plucking from the tree, taking
everybody
whatever they
that I was
wanted.
dealing with, and I called myself loving on them, but they didn't have for me. Nothing.
So you had no expectation of anything in return, really. You just give until.
And I mean, good grief from Zion, man. I mean, everybody I dealt with was like that, and it was draining. And I mean, nobody, you know, was nobody to make me toe the line. She wasn't having none of that, man.
She came in opposite. She came in holding you accountable,
you know what I mean?
not
And
doing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, it was different. You know what I mean? But then after we got married, you know, she kind of went around. Nah. You know, I when I think back, I think we kind of rushed into it. There were some things that, you know, kind of were like some red flags, though, that we didn't address. Like, we went to the counseling and stuff in the beginning. They were like, we were a great match. But I think along the lines, the way
They didn't pick out the red flags? The counselors?
Nah, they didn't pick them out. It was a churchy thing. Yeah, they didn't pick them out.
You went to the counseling in a box, cereal box.
I was sniffing her draw, so it was just like I was following her lead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this was something new for me. It was different. And my niece, the crazy thing, my niece, the one that just got killed in a crash, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't even be together.
Really?
Oh, man. So when I was living in the Virgin Islands doing radio down there, they called me and said, hey, there's somebody named Miss Allen. She said to tell you hi. I was like, what? Miss Allen? They was like, Michelle Allen? I was like, oh, hell no. I used to be crazy about her back in the day. She said to tell you hi. So her godson, her god sister's son, was in the same class as my niece. So when my contract was up down there, I came back and I went back to my old house where I was at, where my nieces, where my sister and everybody was living. I just went back to the basement and I went up to the school because I was volunteering, Fathers in February, all other stuff. And one day somebody came in there and put their hand around my face and said, what's up, boo? We still getting married? And I was like, what? And I turned on and I was like, oh. And we started talking. Yeah. And it didn't go anywhere. It was like, I guess it didn't really move the way I wanted it to move.
How'd you want it to move?
Faster.
Okay.
I wanted her to, you know, I was used to being, I don't want to say, I guess you could say spoiled. And then later I figured out it was, you know, my son's sperm donor. You know what I mean? So I've been raising. I have a son and I have a daughter. My son is not my biological son, but
Okay.
I don't do step. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I've been
right,
raising him
right.
since he was 4. He's 26 years old now. That's my kid.
You're right.
Dude, you forfeited your rights. That's my child. And
So he was in the way.
still. Yeah. And so I was just like, I got tired of, and later she would say, well, she just didn't want to put me around. I said, so you must have thought I was a sucker then. Like, you know, like it wouldn't have been me fighting. I mean, I had a crew of cats that always rode with me that was like, just because of the stuff I did for them, I almost got myself fired a bunch of times at the radio station, just doing stuff I wasn't supposed to, playing people's records. And these were street cats. And from me getting them affiliations, I would play their records in the middle of the daytime when I filled in for people. I was like, man, this is whack. Why are we playing this? And I would get suspended. I would get in trouble, but they never forgot that. And they still talk about it to this day. And I wouldn't have had to fight him. I would have just had to make a call, and they would have, I mean, like, they really do that type of stuff.
Like
they
that?
Yeah, they took care of it. And my grandmother was like, don't put that man's blood on your hands. So that always resonates in my head.
Thank God for grandma.
You know, and so one day I called her and I said, listen, tired of playing this game with you. You know, because it was always, all right, we going to hook up. Then it didn't happen, or she was falling asleep or whatever, and she probably was still dealing with dudes. So I ain't want none of that anyway. You know what I'm saying? He tasted me all in your mouth. I ain't want to be him.
Oh my God.
I ain't want to be him. You know what I mean? That's in one of my songs. He tasted me all in your mouth. That's why I don't know why guys make records like that. You know, your man ain't got to know. But yeah, his residue is in your mouth.
Oh my God.
Nasty. Yeah, you knew this was going to be that interview.
Yeah, listen, we asked for it.
I called her one day. I said, look, man, I'm tired of playing around with you. I said, I ain't even with it no more. You know what I'm saying? So don't even call me no more. I'm good with it. You know what I'm saying? This was a message. And no, we were talking on the phone. She was like, well, good. I ain't got to talk to you no more either. I'm straight too. I was like, well, good. Then don't call me. I'm straight. Whatever. Blah. We was going back and forth with the good. And so like an hour later, I had to eat crow. My niece comes home with this paper. My baby, you little angel, man. And nobody could figure out what it was on the paper. I called her god sister and her son. They was like, I can't figure it out either. It was something simple, but it was hidden. The answer was like tree or leaf or something like that.
Right.
It was just a picture, and I said, shh. I said, I ain't calling you for me, but my niece got this.
Yeah, right. Oh, okay. You gonna use your niece? Okay, right.
I said, I ain't calling you for me, but my niece, she got this paper, and I know she in the same class as little Frank. Can you still at the school? Or can I run up there and you look at the paper, or you just stay there? I'll come and look, but I'll come by for her. But don't bring your ass outside. So at the time I had braids.
She gangster, ain't she?
Right. So I had my hair looking like Bone Thugs and Harmony, fat as hell. The t-shirt cut off, all big with fat titties everywhere. And I had on my shorts. You know, I always wear shorts over my underwear all the time. So I come outside like that after they out there. And she said, I told you not to come outside. I said, whatever. So we started talking or whatever. And then I just looked at her and I walked up to her and I kissed her, and we've been together ever since.
Ladies and gentlemen, the recipe for how to find the woman of your dreams. Okay.
It never been easy, man. You know, I think, yeah, man, we box a lot, man. We box. I mean, you want it all, I'm gonna give it to you, man.
Yeah, I needed all of it, man.
Yeah.
Pause.
Right. We box a lot, and you know, I hope that we have shown our kids that even through BS, that we stick it out and we fight, even though we box and different stuff like that. We do love each other, and we figure it out. You know, we figure it out, man. You know, I know when I got injured in 2016, it was a real rough boxing match between us all the time, and but we figure it out. You know, and sometimes neither one of us have the couth to just wait till we get in the room to finish it. We just go at it right there, which is no good. And I just pray that I have not tainted my kids, especially my daughter. You know what I mean? Just keeping it a buck with you.
Yeah, I want that.
Nobody else will get this. This is y'all. I did this for you.
This is an exclusive.
This is the makeup.
This is love.
This is the makeup for that day I forgot.
Yeah,
and
for forgetting me. Yeah,
and you know, we still together, man. We plan trips. You know, we travel agents. She has a charcuterie and wine business. We get ready to get a building so she can, do that there. We both are level 1. Went to school for Napa Valley for level 1, wine aficionado stuff, but she going all the way.
My wife needs to talk to you. Like, your wines?
I know level 1. I ain't like I did that so when she gets the building, I could be in there like, yeah, that'll be a good one with your charcuterie with that.
But your wife really know it.
Yeah, she know him. Yeah, she do. Yeah, she studied. I was like, I'm just doing it because I'm supporting you.
Right.
And that's what we supposed to do. Even when you're not interested,
For sure.
you still supposed to support it. Like she's supposed to do, but she don't. But it's all good. That's what happens.
So the question I got.
Here come another one.
Yeah,
because
fire.
You made sure you don't want to be like what you saw.
Yeah, I did.
How much of your marriage now is like what you saw or different than what you saw? How much have you made that different?
I can say the majority, I would say 75, 80 or 80 plus is different. But I'll be honest with you. I do see traits of my father in me. I see traits of my uncle in me. And she probably won't admit it, but I see traits of who her mom and the ladies, the women that are around who they are, and that's where we clash. But we'll get into it and then we laughing after that. You know what I mean? I wish we weren't like that, but it's become a thing. It's on, then it's off.
Has that 20% that is not the way you want, has it become normalized and y'all just been doing it so long?
It has.
Versus
it's become normalized.
Let me just go talk to somebody so I can be the better version of myself. Like the therapy and all that. You know what I mean? So whatever parts of me that like my uncle or my dad, let me go like dig into that so I can just did that.
And the therapist I had quit. And I never went back. During the pandemic, I had a therapist on the thing that helped me out, that helped me realize I was mad as hell at Lynn. Oh God, yeah, man. I'm giving you too much. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen.
Sponsored by
New Image Entertainment.
Right.
Tony Sanders and crew. It made me realize that she showed me I was pissed off at him. I was mad. He's been gone for 2 years now in February. And what's things that he did that?
I was about to say, why were you upset?
Well, let me tell you this though. I have gone up there, and I'm looking for. I put a post up the other day that I needed somebody to send me to a psychiatrist, because there's some things that, like, getting in people's car. If it's something on the seat, I get like this. Going in hotels. If I see something, it's like I don't know if that's OCD or if I'm about to lose it. Like, and I don't know how this happened. I know one time I went to a hotel in Cleveland, and there was some white stuff on the floor, and then there was some red stuff, and the red stuff was wet and sticky. And then, you know what I'm saying? And it's like when I go, I'm on the airplane, I'm wiping down the seats. It's like I need to. Well, I need somebody to unplug that for me.
A lot of that, I'm not trying to diagnose you, but a lot of that is around control or the lack thereof, and something's out of place, which may be connected also to the fact that you can't let nobody else do nothing because you got to control everything. So you probably got some control.
I go to
issues.
somebody, I sit in somebody's car, go to somebody's house, or sit on something. And if it got a stain on it or something like that, they be like, oh, that ain't nothing. I sit on there and my ass get hot because I'm thinking about, I don't want this on my clothes. I don't want this. I go to, when I go to the hotel, like the hotel we at now is real nice. It's an old school spot. It's nice, it's clean.
Yeah.
But I got jogging pants and I got a hoodie that I'm going to sleep in. I don't pull the covers down. They say don't sleep on top. But I wipe the covers down, spray them, and I get on top of there and I'm like this the whole night. I lay on the pillows though, but I put the hood on.
Right.
What do you do to just let go? Like, what's your thing to do to just let go and be free? I'm not thinking. You do any meditation, do any yoga, any of that?
No,
you in your head a whole lot.
Right?
There's a whole lot going. Well, I didn't say all that.
No, I'm telling you.
No, I'm just saying. There's a whole lot going on up there, man. So
it is.
You gotta veg out.
Help me, man! No, that's why I put that post up the other day, because I need to. But I
respect that. I'm proud of you for doing that.
And I think that Black people are screwed up. Like that was a thing that you swept up under the rug, or you said, no, he'll be all right, just go away. And that a lot of kids and people were hurt by things that people did to them because they were not mentally together growing up, man. You know, that when I found out, this is how I was able to forgive my dad. I found out that his father used to come home from work every day and just whoop on everybody for no reason.
Generational
Nobody
curses,
talks about
man.
that, but this dude is the greatest man to ever walk the planet. And I'm like, how do you get that when a man is coming home beating on your mom, he's whooping on you? I'm like, how do you get that? Like, where do you get that from? That's how I was able to forgive him, because I was like, wow. But you still exalt this man. The only thing I remember about that, he died when I was 10. Only thing I remember about him is him yelling and giving us whoopings. That's all I remember. And him having a drink when he came home. He worked at Chevy for, I don't know how, till he passed.
So you mentioned your daughter earlier, and you was like, I hope that whatever my kids saw, it wasn't too detrimental. How do you prepare your daughter for relationships?
This is a good one. So she's my daughter, and I, you know, by us moving to Atlanta, we sacrificed a lot of family togetherness. And that's probably good too, because a lot of that was, a lot of it is, what's the word? Toxic.
Yeah.
The side of the family that was there, but by leaving, everybody, I didn't realize that everybody I was losing, that she was close to them too. Super close. Everybody that left, she was super close to them too. So she went from this loving girl to not wanting to hug, not wanting to kiss, not wanting to touch, not wanting to spend time, different stuff. Because I think I heard her say one time, what difference does it make? I think you're gonna die or something, or different stuff, like somebody's gonna die. And I said, baby, if you continue to think like that, it's gonna happen. I said, you go to a Christian school, and I know they teach you, you know, your tongue is, you know, so saith, so shall it. And you lead worship in school.
Life and death and the power of the tongue.
Yeah, and I said, you lead worship, and I see you up there talking. I said, when you go up there like that, I know you're not playing. So I said, you got to understand that the way you think, if you think that things aren't going to be great, even if it is great in your face, you're not going to think it's great. You're going to always think it's, because that's the way you think all the time. But that's something that has been
never going to truly.
That's something that has
be
been
in the moment.
Yeah, that's something. But that's, and I said, I don't know where you get that thinking from, because you never hear, as bad as much as I go through stuff, you never hear me talk negative. You never hear me say it's not going to make a difference because this is going to happen. You never hear your dad talk like that. You always hear me speak light, speak life, speak right. That's all you ever hear me speak of.
And your wife does that too?
No.
So you're only one half of the equation.
No shit. Why you think we haven't been? If I get in trouble for this, that's your so I'm giving you it's like, you know, they say go to like couples counseling and different stuff like that, but it's like, how do you go to counseling with somebody that never feels like they do anything wrong?
Ooh, I know that's gonna.
I love her to death. I do. I
I
love her to death, but it's like a lot. But I'm saying that's the way her mom thinks too. That she thinks that the men are wrong about everything. The man did it. If something happened, he did it.
Well, tell her, let's go so you can better help me, and you just be there to support me.
I have refused to do that, because I just feel like, why if nobody feels like, 'cause I got into it with my daughter. We had an argument yesterday. I said she was talking trash. I said, you point the finger at everybody and talk stuff about everybody. I said, I don't hear any accountability in anything that you do. I said, the difference between my generation and your generation is we say what we mean and we mean what we say. And then y'all ask, well, what do you mean by that? I just told you what I meant by it. Y'all will say something, and then when you'll say some stuff, and then when we snap at you, you'll say, well, I didn't mean it like that. She was like, you understand? Like, man, my God, I've never seen a kid so busy. Like when she was 12, she won this thing at the Passion Church. Her school built this music academy around her. She been the face of that and brought all the diversity to the school because of her face and her voice. This year she got the lead in Sister Act 2. She had to do a final project for the Music Academy where she wrote and produced her own records. Yeah, she was in another play She's in dual enrollment. So when she starts school this fall, she'll actually be a sophomore. By January, she'll be a junior because of all the credits that she has that they're going to take at Middle Tennessee State University. And she said, you think it's been for the last 3 months? I just want to come home. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to be around anybody. I don't want to say anything to anyone. As I said, okay, well, then I'm going to give you your thing. Well, then, you don't have to call and ask me how to do this. You want to do that? I said, I understand. See, there you go. I didn't mean it like that. I said, that's the problem. I said, y'all are so stupid the way y'all say, oh, so now I'm stupid. I said, no, I didn't say you're stupid. I said, y'all, the way y'all make this way y'all talk. I said, our generation, we say what we mean. I mean, we say, if I say F you and I'm not dealing with you no more, that means F you.
Right.
And I'm not dealing with you anymore.
Right.
Don't ask me for my wallet. Don't ask me for a ride. Don't ask me, can you do nothing? Right. Don't ask me to get you out of jail. Don't ask me to beat this dude up. Don't ask me to do That's what it means. But when you say it, oh, well, I didn't mean I wouldn't mess with what you said. Like, I just meant, when I come home sometime, I want to get you. I said, y'all don't have, like, what is it, critical thinking?
Yeah, critical thinking
I was like,
skills.
I don't get it. Like, what happened? Like, the air is got to be toxins in the air. Whatever they putting in the food, it's horrible. Like,
that's the same conversation. When you say this generation, our generation, it's like, man, we sound old. We sound like that. The old angry people,
we
or
just
whatever.
know what
but
we want.
Yeah,
we
but
know who
there's
we
a
are.
there is a difference. I don't know for social media and all that, because we had none of that. Where they getting a lot of information from a lot of different sources. We only had several sources where the information was being controlled from. Church, school, parents.
Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah, I remember my daughter told me that mermaids were real because she saw it on. Yeah, I know you're gonna be mad, but she saw it on TikTok and she's like, "Yeah, they're real." I'm like, "That's not." No, it's just look. It's on TikTok. It's a real mermaid. I'm like, "Yeah, okay. You saw it on TikTok. It's real."
Yeah. Why is TikTok the Bible now?
Because they get their information from many different sources.
That's crazy. I told him how we had it was our parents was like, you do what I say and you believe this, I'm whooping your ass. And that was it.
That's it. That's the Bible.
It was one TV in the house, maybe two if you were lucky. Then when you got a job, maybe you bought you a little black and white or a little color. Like I didn't in Cleveland didn't have cable. The city of Cleveland didn't get cable till like 1989. I was 19, and it was a one button thing that after 10 o'clock, 9:10, you press the button and it switched over, and it was like they was having sex, but his body was on her stomach and they was pumping and stuff.
Listen, when you say TV, this is totally off. I guess you really gotta be from Cleveland if you know. Is it Big John?
Big Chuck and Little John.
Big Chuck and Little John.
That laugh.
Yeah. So anyway, so with that component, right? You and your daughter, like,
yeah,
and she's about to go off to school.
Yeah. Oh, back to that. We got lost. I went way off. This is gonna be the longest podcast.
No, we good.
We good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Sponsored by.
So I told her. I said, first and foremost, I said, I've tried to be the best father that I could. I said, I didn't have the greatest blueprint. And I said, I know everything that we've done here and that I've said and done is probably not right. And I said, I wish I would have handled some things differently. But it's in my DNA. Those are the parts of me that I just don't tolerate disrespect. Mm-hmm. And I say disrespect is disrespect, whether if my son doesn't do something I tell him to do, or if you talking out the side of your neck to me, disrespect is disrespect.
Right.
And but as far as like relationships, I think it's very important that we tell our kids who we were 100% before you were this salat, doing prayer 5 times a day, to yoga and Buddha, Allah, to Jesus, Bible toting, to the Bible study on Tuesday, choir rehearsal on Saturday, celibacy for the last 6 years. It's important that you tell them that you got trains ran on you and you might have been molested and raped, or you did that type of stuff if you were a guy. Yeah. My daughter knows everything I did on the road, man. I told her everything. I told her everything.
How has she responded to your brutal
honesty? She said,
honesty?
I'm nasty, I'm a whore, you're disgusting. Like, we have this thing called a black box conversation where even before she turned 18, I let her just speak her mind and say what she wanted to say. Mm. And, man, and, I just told her everything, and she was like, "You're fucking disgusting." In literal words, "You're fucking disgusting. You're a whore. You're trifling that. You're the world." And I'm like, "Nah." I said, "Nah," but then I met your mom. Everything was cool, And I told her, I said, when you go to college, assuming that you're, haven't had relationships yet, and I know she hasn't really had time for a boyfriend. If she has, then I don't know nothing about it. And I guess she's talking to some guy now that she went to school with, and she doesn't want to talk about it, but yet she always tell me that he says hello, he knows my music, this stuff and stuff. And at first I'm like, how does young nigga know my music? I said, have you seen this nigga? Are you da-da-da-da? I found out, I'm talking too much now. I found out some guy she went to school with. So fuck it. Yeah, I'm forgiven for that shit now.
You are forgiven.
And this shit here, man, if this shit go viral, I'm gonna be in trouble. Fuck it, maybe it's my outplan.
But it will restart a whole career.
Yeah. Right. So I tell her, I said, when you leave for school, and this is not to give you the gold pass, but you're gonna leave the same way your brother did. Leave you with a Magnum pack and a small boy pack. That way you always protected. I just feel like that's necessary. I do, because I've toured colleges and I see what happens. They go to school, girls, and they come back pregnant. They come back in love. They come back turned out. They come back manipulated, hurt. And I just told her that box, once you give it away, you can't get it back. You can't be like, and I told her this in these little words. I said, once you give it away, and I'm not telling you to give it away,
right.
But if you do, it's your choice. It's not because you think this dude's gonna love you, or is he gonna stay, he gonna do this, or he gonna do that, or it's gonna make him love you, or it's gonna make him treat you different, or whatever. I said, because 90 days, 9 years, or whatever, he could still flip.
Right.
That 90, that when I heard that 90-day shit from Steve Harvey, I was like, nigga, you just really trying to sell books. Because I've waited for time and no, I ain't never done it.
I was about to say,
but I've never done a woman like that ever. I fell in love with girls after one night stands. It was so damn good. Oh, dog.
So check this out. So you talk about the physical. How much of it with your daughter do you talk about the emotional aspect?
I talked to her about it, about
everything.
Love,
or thinking you're in love, infatuation, how to manage the emotions, how to slow, I
think I've told her from, I said that, your mother and I have tried to be the best that we could be for you, and I know we haven't been the best example for you. And I said that I hope that you will take the things that you deem good and use them and implement into your relationships, and the things that you think are messed up, you won't. But first think, did they do this because they were trying to, or they did this, or because it was to really help me? I hope that they used the critical thinking function then. To be smart, man.
It's scary, bro.
Man, you think I ain't scared?
It's scary. I have a 22-year-old daughter that just graduated from Ohio State. Then IO, baby. And then my youngest, she's about to go off to University of Dayton, which is literally down the street. But still, you ain't here, right?
It's like my daughter. So I have, you have like 4 different sides of your family. My daughter is the wild side, the one that I really know, the Smith side, my dad's side. She is really one of them. She fits in perfect with them. She likes alcohol. I don't think that she'll do drugs, because she had a bad experience sneaking with my nephew, and I have all the footage and the video, so I know she ain't do that again.
Scared her away from it.
I'm sure she's not going to ever do that again. I have just given her the list of, when you go with your girls, you leave with your girls. You don't be no third leg.
Don't drink
with
nothing
girl
that you don't know. You didn't see who poured it, and the whole 9 yards.
Don't smoke nothing. The whole 9. I'm like, yo, if you got to leave your drink, you take it to the head or you pour it out. I said, because your girl might get enthralled with some dude that like her, come up and leave your drink there. Somebody slips some of your drink. It might not even be meant for you. Right. It might be meant for somebody else. But man, I just told her, man,
especially for you, man, you don't like not having that control.
I don't. I don't, man. I don't, and it's, man, it's really irritating. I'm happy for her, man. I'm enjoying watching her become this woman, man. Like when I saw her in the play and she was Dolores Van Cartier in Sister Act 2.
Yeah.
Man, I felt like I was watching a New Edition story where when they went from boys to men, like right in front of my eyes, and I'm just crying the whole time, the whole thing. I'm.
It's crazy when you see your
And my
daughter
face hurt.
singing,
Yeah.
and because you know that's been your thing, and now you seeing her, and if
she's
she
better than me, way
and I
better.
was about to say, I know if she does something and you think it's whack, you tell her, no, that's whack, do it again, whatever. But I know you see that, you're like, dang, that's just amazing.
When I saw her do this, I was like, wow, I knew you could do this, but I didn't know you could do this.
Yeah.
They had 8 shows, brother.
That's crazy.
8 shows. Plus, she had to
That's
balance
Broadway.
Man, she had 8 shows. She was like, she had been playing volleyball since 6th grade, so she was managing. She didn't want to play senior year, so she managed the volleyball team. Was going to rehearsrsals. Was still
crazy.
going to rehearsals for the chamber singers and for the praise team at school, while managing a low A average and dual enrollment and. Yeah, she's tired. I get it. I'm gonna tell her I apologize.
Is she Dave Jr.? Is she the manager? Is she the one, the go-to person for all her friends and people? Because she's like juggling all the balls.
You know, pause. I think she is. I think a lot of her friends, but she doesn't talk that much about it. She does. Man, she's come home and told me some miraculous stories about the stuff that her friends have told her. I don't know. She said, "Dad, there's this girl. She bought some weed from one of the boys at school, and you know she paid for it and everything. And when she went out to the car to get the weed from him, he told her that she had to give him some brain, and she was like, she gave him brain. He scattered the brains all over her face, and he still wouldn't give her the weed after she paid for it. So I'm hearing all these crazy stories and stuff like that of people smashing at the school, at this Christian school.
Oh, bro, come on.
I mean, niggas be screwing in the church. I remember, girls showing me their stuff in church when we was kids. So, I mean, yeah, it's all good. Run Tris names. So,
Carl is giving us it's time to go because y'all got a rehearsal,
Right.
And your time is tight, and we appreciate.
the hell?
Yeah, no, man, like it's business.
no, the
you
batteries,
got
I just got this battery in my watch.
your
What
battery
the hell?
dead.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So it's the Lord telling us it's time to go. So hey, listen, man. First of all, you have totally made up for forgetting me
Y'all
and
need to
not
cut me a check
remembering
for
me.
this. Because y'all, I just put my family on the line with this.
Yeah. Because we don't want to hear, after it's over that, you broke your family up. But no, the honesty and the vulnerability, bro, you brought it. Appreciate you, like seriously, straight talk. I always know your energy is gonna be off the charts because you're just a funny guy, man. But even going deep and trusting us with, what you share, man, appreciate that.
It's all been brought to you by New Image Entertainment. Tony Sanders.
Definitely has.
Hey, man, so
Tony.
look, I know we want to talk about music, but I just realized I got like 5 records out right now.
Go ahead, man, plug it.
I got a record I did for my brother Gemini. It's called Chicago South Side. That's out right now.
Dope.
I got a song called Feels Good to Be Back. It's a dedication to Cleveland. I'm singing it at the thing this weekend. Another one just came out today. It's called You Stayin'. And then I'm on a record with the East Side Boys called What the Business Is. And then I just had a record come out the other day with Crazy Bone called A Lot of Pain. Man, it's my season. I feel like they owe me. Not God, but I'm saying it's probably the same thing. I feel like I'm owed some good times to get back to.
No.
Man, I've given up a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it's not more than what anybody else has done. But man, damn, man, I'm fucked up on the inside. Seriously, I'm fucked up. I'm be honest with you, I'm fucked up. I'm hurting. I don't understand why.
So I'm gonna be checking on you, right?
I hope so. I need somebody to check on me, man,
for
because
real.
nobody does. They do, but it's
man.
ladies
so
though.
You should tell him he should have never gave me that green light.
Call me. I want you to call. I need it. My man Tony Sanders called me today, man. He gave me some good word today. I had a call like I'm going to Kansas City after I leave here, and the guy that does our security when we go out there, his mom called me and she said something. She said, "We are left behind to carry the baggage." I thought that was a deep ass statement. She said, whoever's left here is left behind to carry the baggage.
On that note, we about to get out of here. Y'all take care. Appreciate y'all watching, tuning in.
Word up.
Peace.